Yes. We are
Live.
live.
Anthony.
Darren.
That's incredible. Anthony, what it do?
Not
This is Love and Chokes podcast. You motherfuckers. Episode 197. Anthony, we've been here so many times.
yes,
We spend so many hours with the people.
we have.
And what's funny to me is that like when I go to explain to people that I have a podcast, I think they all assume that like if you have a podcast, you're as popular as Joe Rogan.
Hmm.
You know, like you have a podcast. Oh, must have millions of listeners. Oh, you're a UFC fighter. Aren't you a millionaire? Shit like that, you know. But like the way I approach it is one, I know that we have a larger listenership over audio.
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't even matter. The way that I approach it is that I'm thinking about 5 years from now. 5 years from now, when both of us are more relevant for whatever reason we are relevant, people will be like, oh shit, there's all this content. There's all this content. And like that's what makes me excited about these episodes. Like I think about Gary Vaynerchuk naked. No, I'm kidding. I think about Gary Vaynerchuk when he first started out the wine library, right?
Yeah.
The videos that would eventually make him famous for a year of him doing it every day. So that's about 300 episodes. Nobody fucking watched it. Not like a few, like nobody, essentially nobody. And so it's like, well, things can take time, especially if you're not starting from a spot where like, I'm a famous person and I'm jumping into another genre, right? From 0 to 60, it doesn't take 3.2 seconds in real life, you know?
Yeah.
Even if you got the Tesla, even if you think you're a Tesla, you're not. So I'm here for that long game. I'm thinking about 5-10 years from now, and it makes me happy and inspired to be here. So Anthony, let's get right the fuck into it. There's so much I want to talk about today.
Okay.
Was there anything that was on your mind before I start fucking ranting?
No, not really.
Good. No. So let's let's get it started. Let's start with my girlfriend.
Yes.
You see what they did to Billie Eilish?
They did. They did a lot, but it's specifically the German nylon department, and that is a fashion blog. Oops, that is a fashion blog. But they said
So let's discuss.
some inappropriate things.
Nylon was once a magazine in print.
Mm-hmm.
Now I believe they've gone out of the print business, but they covered their cover, if you want to say, is a drawn picture of Billie Eilish topless. One, it wasn't asked for, right? So someone just did that. Now, can you just draw some shit if you want to? Yes. Of course. Like if I'm sitting in my room and I decide I'm going to draw a picture of you with no pants on and a hard dick, I could do that if I wanted.
If you could, yes.
Like there's nothing stopping me from drawing Anthony sans pants, dick, ready for work. There's nothing stopping me from doing that. However, once I make that public, once I try to profit from that in any way, I'm doing extra cunty shit. Would you agree?
Yes.
And you're an adult. You are a legal, viable adult. There aren't that many countries, first world countries,
I might be surprised.
where 17 is considered to be an adult. So now, even though I don't like thinking of 17-year-olds, even like teenagers at all as children, that's what they are. Like I think of them as kids. When I think of children, I think of like single digits. But like what you've essentially done is taken non-consensual pictures of a child in a slightly sexual context, right? Because you can argue like, well, is toplessness inherently sexual? It's an argument that one can make. But like, let's have that argument about people that are adults. Like, you fucked up. And I don't know how you can make that right if you're nylon. I don't know what you can do besides, like, a cease and desist is natural. You got to do that. Because she called you out. She made that public that she didn't consent to this and that you guys are motherfuckers.
Right. I'm trying to see what... okay.
And this isn't like, I don't bring this up because it's like the news of the day or it's gossip.
Right.
I like these kinds of gray areas in life. Like how old is 17 is a fun question. I don't even care how people feel about it. That's a fun question.
Mm-hmm.
And like is it okay to draw something of someone that's not technically their likeness? Like, it's your interpretation of their likeness. If I take a picture of you, I think that's much different than drawing you. Drawing you is my perception of what you might look like. A picture of you is what you actually fucking look like. So like there's a lot of nuance here. And I think they tried to hide in that nuance. Like, I think there had to be a meeting. You don't just put shit on the cover without other people talking about it. So I think they must have decided that we can hide in the nuance, and that the heat that this will draw, the amount of people saying the name Nylon will be worth whatever we have to deal with, because we can rest in this nuance where like what's the age of consent in Germany?
18.
Oh no, that's not even. I was hoping it would say 16, and I'd be like, oh, it was more clever, you know, but it's not that clever. So you have the same rules that we have, and so the only real nuance you could play with is this is not truly Billie Eilish.
I'm sorry, I lied. It's ages 14. Good guy. Yeah.
See, now we're back into that subtle realm. So if the age of consent in Germany is 14, and the perception is that she's 3 years into being completely viable.
Right.
Now, is it truly 14, or is it 14 with an age cap?
The age of consent in Germany is 14-year-old. The age of consent is the minimum age at which an individual is considered legally old enough to consent to participation in sexual activities. So
is that where it ends? Is that the end of the sentence?
Yeah.
Because there are some places that have what are referred to as Romeo and Juliet laws. Have you ever heard of this concept? It was basically designed so that, like, if you were in high school, you're in the same peer group, right? But if you're 15 and I'm dating you, and you turn or if I'm 15 and you're dating me and you turn 18, on your 18th birthday, you are not raping me. That's what the law was designed to do.
So
Does that make sense?
It works the opposite direction. So it's like if you go below 13, we have an issue.
Right. No. This is not what I'm saying.
No, I guess that's all. But that's what I'm saying is that's all there is.
There was an age cap. Right. I hear what you're saying, but there's an age cap in some places. So like you can, if you are 19, you can't talk to a 14-year-old, right? But if you're 18, maybe you can. So like there's shit like that in some countries, including ours.
Yeah.
But in other countries, it's more cut and dry and much younger than I think Americans are used to being prepared for emotionally. Like, if you said the age of consent is 14 in America, people would flip the fuck out.
Yeah, it'd be pretty.
People would flip the fuck out, not remembering when they were a freshman in high school giving blowjobs, not remembering when they were a 14-year-old receiving that blowjob. Not like all that just goes away. We don't remember any of that. A 14-year-old is a child and children are not sexual is what we'll say to each other, but we did do those things and have those experiences, right? But hopefully those experiences were with someone just as young and stupid and unprepared as us. You're supposed to be stumbling through those experiences at that age, not coasting through them with the guidance of a fucking person who's been there thousands of times, right? That's my personal thought.
Right.
That's what I think. That's why I think it's actually wrong. Right? Even if the age of consent is 14, you don't fuck 14-year-olds because they ain't been here enough times. That's why. You know, like they don't have enough social fucking context to be a fucking reasonable participant in that kind of an activity with a grown-up. But like, if the age of consent is 14 and I draw a picture of you when you're 17, even though I'm an asshole and I realize you're not from the same set of rules and values as me when it comes to this, right? I'm taking advantage of a little teeny loophole, a little glitch in the matrix, and trying to get attention for it. And I'm helping, and I get that.
Yes.
But I do think that it does give the opportunity to talk about these weird little nuances and how they are real things. Like, I had a feeling the age of consent was fucking younger. I had a fucking feeling. Because I don't think these guys are stupid. There's a meeting behind these things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not one guy hitting a button and then it's on the cover of the fucking magazine or the cover of the blog or whatever the fuck it is. There's going to be a meeting of people whose money is dependent on how this goes. They're not just going to do it all willy-nilly. There's a fucking plan. There's a plan. And I'm glad I've never been famous and never been a child who is famous, because I wonder how she really feels about it. So that's piece number one, Anthony.
Okay. Okay.
Piece number one is free my nigga Billy. Stop fucking with my girl. Like, I just think she's the best pop star like available right now. I think she's the best thing going, and so I only want positive things to happen for her until she decides she doesn't want to make this genre of music anymore and goes on to do something cool. I see her as being able, and I know that she already looks up to this human, but I see her as being able to cross into that like Donald Glover realm.
Yeah.
Where you're like a person with many hats on and many hats on at the same time, and you do all these things at a high level and make everybody like just walk around with their fucking mouth open. Like, I think she's that dynamic of an artist, and we'll see if I'm correct. So I'm rooting for Billie. Now, here's a question about rooting for women.
Oh.
Who are you rooting for in the UFC main event between Zhang and Andrade?
Who cares?
See, that's what I thought you'd say.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, and I don't know if it's just because it's in China or just because there are only a few people at 115 that America seems to find interesting.
Yeah.
Or the MMA culture seems to find interesting. And somehow Jessica Andrade is not one of these people. And now she has the belt, and she's fighting at a very odd time of the day for American audiences.
6 a.m.
Like 6 a.m.
That's
your time.
That's
right?
my time.
So
it's 3 a.m.
She'd fight at 6 a.m. your time, 3 a.m. my time, and the prelims begin at 12 and 3.
Yep.
That's a brutal time to make yourself into a star, unless you're the Chinese lady, unless you're Zhang.
Well, right.
Because she could fuck around and step into a ridiculously historic role. Like, dude, like, why do people in America do martial arts? You know why?
Because the Asians. The Asians.
Yeah, dude. And a particular type of Asians. Like, all right, there's two phases, right? There's the initial martial arts boom, which I believe is a Chinese-driven boom. Right. Oh, by the way, Andres Brunauskas, world famous black belt, just said he'd be down to do our podcast, like literally just now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Two
yeah.
times.
I'm out here working for us, dog. I'm out here working
Mr.
for us.
Two-time.
Nobody knows.
Mr.
I
Two-time.
talked to him today. He's in fucking Sweden or wherever the fuck. At Valhalla Jiu-Jitsu with John Thomas. Shout out to both of them. And he did no-gi today. And I was like, no-gi? Worm guard don't exist, no-gi. What's going on here? He's like, I know, it's crazy, right? And I'm like, yo, are you trying to get to Abu Dhabi? And he was like, and so he texts me back, I'm down to watch. And I'm like,
oh, okay.
dude, I'm making a joke about you fighting. Like, you're not paying attention. So yeah, I think that we could probably do a podcast with him while we're in LA. And we're talking shop during the podcast. I don't give a fuck.
Yes.
The reason why I think it'll be dope to do is because Kitao, where we're going to be staying at least one of the nights that we're there, if not all of the nights, Kitao directed me and Andres in a movie.
Oh.
And it'll be fun to have a kind of reunion of the cast of Aardvark. And then perhaps you and I should watch Aardvark. And like, maybe, because I can't believe we haven't done this.
Yeah.
We're damn near 200 episodes. I've been in exactly one feature film about jiu-jitsu, and we've really never brought it up. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe there's not. Maybe it's more true to life than I want it to be.
Is that what it is? I
don't know. I mean, look, the prospect of having an OnlyFans account gets more appealing with every fucking passing day. That's all I'm saying. Like, I really don't know what's wrong with it. I don't think Jess would fire me if I was a online hooker. There's another person who wants me to corner them, and they were already making jokes about how I should probably just do online sex work.
There you go.
So I feel pretty secure. I think my job security good.
Yeah. It's like he's gonna make
And that's the reason that people don't do sex work.
Yeah.
They're afraid of like the consequences. And it's like, what exactly are the consequences? It's like, I don't teach children anymore. All right, so scratch that shit off. I don't have to be anybody's role model. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as long as the people I work with feel comfortable, I don't think I have anything to worry about. And maybe I'm currently working at a gym that had a little scandal involving a video and some shit. So maybe. Oh, hell yes. Maybe we all good here. Like, maybe it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And like, Really, all I'm talking about is jerking off and looking at a camera and saying whatever they want me to say. That's really all I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's all I'm talking about.
I thought it was a
And
scandal.
like, what's so wrong with that?
Yeah.
You thought what?
I thought the jerking off looking into a camera was the scandal. Like somebody did that in the office. They just looked in the security camera and just started beating off.
I didn't. No. It's not like that. This is
Okay.
like it was a video that was made that was leaked.
Oh, okay. Okay, got you.
You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
made for an individual to get by an individual to get to an individual.
Yeah.
and it was leaked.
Yeah.
You're all caught up now.
Yeah.
Now there might have been a joke about something like that today.
Oh,
where
yeah.
I was like, oh no, they're in the shower getting ready. What are you waving off?
Let's just
You getting scared?
Nah, let's move on. Let's. Why? So why look a gift horse in the mouth sometimes?
Are you getting comments?
I'm not getting comments. I'm just. Let's. I understand.
I ain't shook.
I understand.
I ain't shook. Things are what they are. Things have already happened. What are we doing here? We're gonna split hairs here?
Yes. If you can't wear the shirt, you can't. You shouldn't talk about it.
I ain't even naming any names. I ain't even slanging them fingers.
Any hoodles. You know what I wanted to talk about today, which I forgot about? Dave Chappelle.
Did you watch it?
I did. Did you watch it?
I watched it too.
Yes.
I watched it.
Did you see,
I
watch? Did you
watched
watch
it. Of course
the?
I watched it.
Did you watch the whole thing? Like everything?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, good.
What do you mean by everything? What does that mean?
Did you see the second part?
I'm about to shoot myself. What do you mean the second part?
So there's a 30-minute section after the special's over where he goes through and does a Q&A with the crowd and just does all.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
No, I did not see the
Okay.
Q&A.
I had the same moment you had. As I watched it, and I was like, I thought I finished this thing. It's over. And then like I look at it, and it's like next part. I was like, what is this? It's like, oh, this is like a bonus.
All right. Well, then let's not discuss any of the Q&A.
Yeah, we'll not discuss that.
Because if you do, I'm gonna have to fucking
Yeah,
kill
no,
myself.
it's okay. You won't. It's not. It's,
And we don't want to kill me live on air. Or maybe we do,
No, it's okay.
but not today.
That's it. But so what did you think? I thought like the hate and the backlash was, kind of obvious.
All right. So I'm not aware of actual backlash.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who's upset or what they're saying is wrong with the special. I assume
Everybody.
that anytime a comic puts out anything that makes me belly laugh, more than once especially, that there's going to be some people that are upset. So at the same time as I clearly saw that there would be backlash, I saw that coming. I'm not aware of any of the backlash. I don't know what people are upset about and what they're not. So you want to tell me?
So basically, like some of the Donald Trump jokes about how he was downplaying his re-election.
He was downplaying it,
Yes,
and that's wrong.
that's wrong. That's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just
Alright.
it was just the way he calmed it down. Let's see, what was the other thing? Some things about the sexual jokes about.
I hope he gets reelected. Like what? Like what the fuck's wrong with people? Okay, keep going.
What was I gonna say? The Michael Jackson thing, obviously. That's like the biggest one that was going.
Oh come on,
Yeah, that was the biggest thing.
dude. Everybody sucks.
Like the
So
people.
you can't say that it would be, yeah, dude. The Michael Jackson bit. So, Cat Williams does a bit that crucifies Michael Jackson and says funny things,
Yeah.
right? But it's also an inherently racist bit. If you want to be just as like nitpicky,
Mhm.
like he flat says at the end of the bit that like you can't fuck nigger children. You can only fuck little white kids or slow kids. Like, like that's one of the crucial like hinging factors in the bit even working. Right? So, but Michael Jackson was painted as the villain in that joke, right?
Yeah.
So now if you paint like the little kids as villains, kind of,
Yeah.
that's not allowed to be funny.
Not allowed.
Like,
None of it.
come on, man. Like, we're talking about comedy here. Like, everything's supposed to be in bounds. Everything. And that was a funny bit. His Michael Jackson bit
Was pretty
took
funny.
where Cat Williams' bit was like, oh, that was pretty good and pretty edgy. And was like, no, you want to know what edgy is? Let me show you where the edge is, and I'm going to jump right off that bitch and see if you come with me. And I was with him. And I think that's what you're supposed to do when you see a comic to get the most out of it is try to be a part of their mind. Like, you don't just play it against your morals. You have those every second of the day. Why did you tune in? Like, why are you sitting there watching this? Are you sitting there watching Dave Chappelle talk so you can think about yourself and your feelings? Or so that you can try to connect to how he thinks and realize how funny that is? Like, running it through the filter of what your opinions are is one of the biggest mistakes you can make when going to see any piece of art, especially comedy. Like, trying to bring yourself to the piece instead of bringing the piece to you. Like, that's what's wrong with everybody. Like, you think that Dave Chappelle, even though there's a degree where, like, all entertainers are servants, you think he's fucking serving you. You think he's supposed to go up there and make you laugh however the fuck you laugh.
Right.
Bunch of selfish cunts in this world. That's not how you look at art. The art is there, and then you move yourself toward it. And then you can say, oh, I can't get this close to this. But it's not completely congruent with who I am. Therefore, it offends me. Its lack of congruence with my fucked up personality offends me. And therefore, I must now go onto whatever social media platform is my favorite and say what a bad person Dave Chappelle is. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Or show me what you've ever created, by the way. Like, you're not a creator. You're a shitty critic. Like, what exactly are you good at? Just keep paying that Netflix fee. Just keep doing that.
Right.
So that the next time they want to write a big check, they can draw some money from you. Like, keep subscribing to Netflix, you piece of shit.
No, it was very weird watching that. Like, just seeing, like, just people getting upset, or even figuring. I kind of just Googled his name. I kind of Googled his name the next day just to be like, oh, let's see what happens. And it's like, oh yeah, everybody's upset about that. But there's one thing that I didn't think anybody did talk about, or maybe they did, but I didn't read it. Was like the whole 10-minute rant on R. Kelly. I was like, was this planned or was this calculated? Or was this really off the top, or was it both?
What do you mean?
So there was a moment in the thing where they were saying, like, you can't be blaming these people, like Michael Jackson, and then somebody shouted out R. Kelly, and then he had this whole 10-minute riff on it, and I was like, either that was like a plant, or that was just you're just that good, like you're just that guy.
All right, one, I don't think you need a plant.
Right.
Right? I don't think Dave Chappelle needs to plant people in the audience. I think he's one of the best to ever do that job.
Right.
So, like, if you wanted to bring up R. Kelly, you could have found a way to do it without somebody shouting it out. And there's also a chance that he had an R. Kelly bit already.
Yeah.
And when someone shouted it out, he launched into a prepared bit. There's also the chance that that was off the dome. And neither of those options, including the plant, let's add that one.
Mm-hmm.
None of those options would upset me.
Okay.
Like, none of that's good or bad. It's just it's a means to an end, right?
Yeah.
So it's like how you decide to tell the story. It doesn't matter. Like, if someone's like, oh yeah, like that was staged. Like, let's say it is.
Yeah.
Let's say it is, so that the cuntiest possible response can be correct, right? So let's say it's entirely staged, and that's somebody that he paid money to sit in that chair and yell R. Kelly at that point. So, like, tell me exactly what's wrong with it. Like, you think that's not genuine anymore? Because he decided, like, he could have played a video. So, like, if I go to a multimedia source, if I pick up a controller or a laser pointer,
Mm-hmm.
I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to show you a slideshow during my comedy show. You wouldn't say shit. I could play you a song. You wouldn't say shit.
Right.
You would be like, oh, yeah, well, this was set up. So I plant an audience member to do a fucking gimmick just so I can change gears at a certain point. And now I've done you some kind of disservice. Like, these are the things that people complain about in this world.
Yes. Because
Again,
it's like magic.
People who've created nothing except for fat, ugly children.
Well, that's the whole point, though. That's the whole.
Like, are gonna tell brilliant artists how to do their job. Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's your line? Like, that's the line that you want to fucking stand on? That's your hill to die on, you piece of shit? Like,
yes. Yes, it is. And I'll tell you why. Because comedy is just magic. We're not pretending it's magic. That's all it is. That's the reason why. It's like if you don't it's not packaged correctly.
Wait, I love that sentence. Say it again. It's gonna make me do a little dance.
It's like I can't even remember what it was. It's like
you said comedy is just magic without any magic, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like, comedy is magic, and that's what I mean. Like a person who stands up in front of an audience and by sharing their thoughts creates a reaction that is predictable by all of the people involved And any predictable outcome shouldn't really be easy to have happen, right? Like if you know it's my job to make you laugh, that's how people play this, like the straight face game and shit.
Right.
Like it's difficult to make a person laugh when they know that they're there to do so. It's hard.
But it's the opposite though. That doesn't work like that.
So if you're the greatest of all time,
No. You can't just what you just said just doesn't work there. Because it's like if you tell the
why?
person the goal is not to laugh, then yeah, it's really hard to make them laugh, or it's really
No,
easy.
I get it. What I'm saying is like it's still hard. No, when a person sits in that chair and they're ready to laugh, it's still hard to make them laugh. Because it's like making a person come. It's not easy.
Right.
It's just easy.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
It's not easy, dude. It's super hard, except for it's super easy.
Exactly. If you know the steps, it works. But if you don't know the steps, it's hard.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both at the same time. The hardest thing in the world and the easiest thing in the world.
Right. But that's the whole beauty about comedy that nobody tells anybody about is that it's not. It's magic, but that's the part of it. Is that in comedy you don't think of deception. You don't really think about it like that. You think it's some amalgamation of their thought, exaggerated to a point. And there's no deception in that thought process of comedy. And so when you add that in there, it's like it kind of is like, ooh, was that organic, or was this not what it's supposed to be? And that's the reason why it could be upsetting or disturbing, because it's not you're not told that you're allowed to cheat. That's not what the game is here. The game isn't about cheating.
Yes, it is.
It is, but
and I still don't think that it's likely that that's what happened.
No, I agree. But it made me think for a while.
But I'm saying, even if it was,
I could see it being upsetting.
I mean, I can see a lot of things being upsetting to a fucking snowflake.
Well, I am a snowflake, and I'm upset.
I don't think you are a snowflake. And I don't think you're upset.
No.
But snowflakes can get upset about anything.
Yes.
And I don't want to be misunderstood here. Like, when I say snowflake, I'm not talking about, like, leftists. I'm talking about all of you. Like, all of you.
Every single one.
Anyone that's easily offended or upset, I'm talking about you. Like, I'm talking about you. Like, you're a snowflake. Things get hot, you melt, you're a snowflake. It's not some, like, leftist, like, it's not a way for me to bully people who are leftists. It's like, or millennials. There are plenty of 55-year-old Republican snowfleks. Plenty.
Right. People who just get 2
So
cents.
I'm talking about you, the cuntiest among you. That's who I'm referring to.
Fair enough. But yeah, that happened. What else did you want to talk about?
My dick and Hottie's Haters Jacket.
Ah, okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, it's an MGK reference. That was just for the city.
For the city of Colorado.
That was just for the city for no reason.
For Denver.
Oh, do you want to see what's in my hand right now? You see this?
What is this?
This is one of those raw tubes.
Oh.
Looks like a cigarette.
But it's
a Fukin joint.
It's a joint. It's amazing.
And it's crepe paper on the bottom, not like some kind of weird fiberglass thing to give me fucking cancer in 30 years. Like my cigarettes do. Not that I'm ashamed.
No.
I'm still a cigarette smoker. I'm not a fucking quitter, Anthony.
Yes.
I'm never gonna be a quitter.
Because quitters give
Even
up.
if I slow down, I'll still have a pack of cigarettes in my house until I die.
There you go.
Like if I technically stop smoking, I will keep an open pack of cigarettes in my house. Just so that no one can ever say, "Oh yeah, no, Darren quit." I'll be like, "No, fuck you. There's a pack of cigarettes in my house right now."
You'll crumple up a cigarette every other day. Just crumple one up. Just throw it away. It's like, yeah, I use that. You'll burn.
Yeah.
You'll burn the edges a little bit. Like, look, see.
That might be the move.
Yeah.
Or just do what the Ultimate Warrior used to do to cookies. Do you know what the Ultimate Warrior did to cookies?
You would just crumble them.
He would take a cookie, a chocolate chip cookie especially. He would go to catering behind the pro wrestling gimmick. He would take a fucking chocolate chip cookie. He would smash it in his fucking hand over a trash can. Like, oh, super aggressive. Ah! And then go and just smell his hands.
Yeah.
And then walk away. That's how he ate cookies. So like,
sounds like a man who has a problem.
At the very end of the day, like if I'm about to be like dead, I'll smoke cigarettes like that.
Sounds like a dude who has a serious problem. He might need to go get some help. Him and the
he would have benefited from some help.
Yeah.
He dead though, so
Yeah.
there's no helping the Ultimate Warrior,
Yeah.
Anthony. You son of a bitch.
Diabetes.
How dare you bring that up?
Diabetes kill everybody.
Diabetes?
Diabetes. Oh yeah, Paulo Costa. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Oh,
The whole shenanigans with that and how that works.
all right.
But I think it's not gonna be. It's a non-issue.
Now tell me why you think. Wait, first,
Yeah.
let's be clear with the audience.
Yes. Let's tell them what happened.
Paulo Costa is arguably the most jacked dude in the UFC. He fought the person who might be the closest person to taking that crown away from him, Yoel Romero, in a recent UFC event. When you weigh in for these events, there's a threshold of how much weight you can gain back. And for his weight class, that threshold was deemed to be 15 pounds. Mr. Costa was 14.9. The commission rounded that up to 15 and said, you cannot fight at this weight any longer. Have I told the story correctly?
Yes.
And by commission, we mean the California State Athletic Commission. So even though that is a single governing body, the things that happen in California and Nevada seem to be followed nationwide. And so the thought is, okay, Paulo Costa just put himself in a position to challenge for the title. How dare you? Just put himself in a position to challenge for the title. And will he be able to fight in the UFC at middleweight at all if all the states follow through with this? That's the concern, yes?
I don't even think that's the concern. I don't even think that was even. It would initially would seem like that, but I don't think so.
It seems like that should be the concern, the ultimate concern. Now, what's your take on what has happened here, Anthony?
It's one of those things where it's actually for the benefit of the fighter, I think. Because
tell me exactly what's for the benefit. The weight gain threshold?
Yeah, the weight gain. Well, like what they're trying to do, I think it's as if they're trying to do something for the fighter. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I think they're doing it in the benefit of a fighter, because I don't think they are giving this man a ban, or not a ban, but like a fine of any sort. So it's not like we're making frivolous rules up to fine you for money for us.
So you're saying that the fact that there's no fine attached to this is evidence that the State Athletic Commission is operating under what you could call best intentions.
Right.
Right. So they're attempting to do something to try to keep the fighter safe. And the evidence of that is they're willing to suspend you, but they're not going to take any of your money.
Yeah, that, and there's nothing that they ask of him to do, which is they want him to enroll in a nutrition program and work with UFC Performance Institute or something similar to address, their weight gain issue. So
okay, so I don't think this is as much of a weight gain issue as it might be like a legalese language issue. So there's some things about weight that I didn't understand and still might be a little hazy on, right? But weight is fucking relative.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of weight beyond this idea of like give a pound, take a pound that we are aware of, which is this concept where, say I'm supposed to weigh 135. That was like the last weight that I weighed competitively to do anything, right?
Yeah.
My understanding of that would have been, okay, if I weigh 135 to 136 pounds, 36.0, that I'll be allowed to compete.
Right.
Right? What if I told you that you could round weight up and down?
Like with like a pencil, or like with like your body?
Like the commission writing it down.
Yeah.
Say I weighed 100 all right, here's what I believe. I think that since the commission can round up and down to benefit you, they can also roll up and down to fuck you in your ass.
Right.
So say I was going to do a competitive fight for a championship thing. One would think that my weight has to be exactly what? I fight at 135 pounds, so my weight must be
like 130, between 135 and 136, or below 135, but they give you that pound allowance.
All right, so I think if I step on that scale and I'm above that, I could still be called below that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if that can happen, for sure it does. If that can happen, then if I'm 114, if I'm 14.9 and 15 is the threshold, just like they could have pushed me from 15.1 to 15 and called it 15, they can call 14.9 15 if they want. And if they have a concern, like this dude's super, super jacked, I think they might be more inclined to be like, let's round that up to 15 and give this guy a fucking issue.
Right.
Right? If he had come in thinking that they might push it up. See, this is what I'm saying. I think he didn't understand that there's a possibility of them adjusting that weight. And he's only 0.9. He's 0.9. So, like, they would do to 15 if he was 0.1 over. So if he's 0.1 under, they'll round it up just as well. It's the same to them. It's like whatever outcome they think they need to have happen is what I think they would do.
Right.
So if he came in and he was if he was like 14, not 14.1, because I don't even know what they would do. They might fuck it up. But if he was 14, he doesn't have an issue.
Yeah.
But at 14.9, they're gonna round that shit up if they think that there should be an issue. And I think looking at that dude, they're like, there might be an issue. He big.
Yeah, he's big.
So, I don't know. I think that's all that happened. I think that if you had told him that he would be fined if he was over 14 pounds over, he would have come in at 13.9. He was just trying to push it. You see what I'm saying? But he didn't understand that he could be rounded up to that next number. Had he just like decided, okay, they round you up sometimes, all right, then I have to be 13.9 pounds heavier than my weight class the day of the fight. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he would have come in at that. But he was trying to push it as far as possible, and I think he didn't understand it. They could push it further than you actually weighed.
No, that makes sense.
Especially when you're him. Like, everyone doesn't think that you passed the smell test. Everybody think you're on the gear.
The sauce to get that
like,
moss.
you are the gear.
Yeah, man.
That could be your nickname.
Mossy
You can
sauce.
literally be Paulo the Gear Costa.
Oh, the gear coast.
The Bomba.
The bomba.
I mean, they do use that as a nickname. The Brazilians do use Bomba as a nickname, which is steroids.
The natural, natty boys.
I mean, there are natty boys out there. I'm a natty boy.
No, I'm talking about those, Yoel and Polo.
For now.
Natty
Wait
boys.
till I turn 40.
Natty boys.
I'm going to find the perfect spot on my butt for that needle. For my 40th birthday. That's what I'm giving myself. I'm giving myself a shot in the ass of testosterone. I'm like, you know what? Who needs this hair? That can all go.
Silly.
Let's get jacked and keep this dick.
Silly.
Let's do that. It's not silly. That's serious business.
I understand.
You wait till you're fucking. You don't even have that 3 in front of your number yet. You son of a bitch.
Nope.
You're out here in your mid-20s out here. Look at your smile. Fuck you. Fuck you and your smile, Anthony.
Shit's still falling apart though, but it's all good.
Out here living your life, doing chair dances.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like.
Body parts are still failing though. Don't worry.
You've seen me do squats.
Yeah.
You've heard them.
Yeah.
You know what's new?
What?
What if I told you that, like, I would say maybe 5 times out of the day, my elbows do the exact same thing that my knees do, except they hurt. So if I straighten my arm as straight as I can, right about now, the elbow will pop in an audible fashion. No, not snapping it, just stretching it, and then it feels like it can't go anymore, and then I stretch it, and it goes. It sounds like my fucking finger snapping.
Yeah.
Now, what's all that about, Anthony? I don't know.
That's some arm bars. That's some arm bar situation. That's a lot of arm bars.
Who's out here getting armbarred, Anthony?
I don't
How dare
know.
you accuse me of ever being armbarred?
The arm bar situation.
Maybe I was in a potential arm lock.
Yeah, I didn't say you
I
got.
make a defense.
Yeah, I didn't say you got tappy.
Guys, no one ever make a chap of me.
Exactly.
Everyone knows this.
I just said.
There's no video footage of me getting tapped out. What are you talking about?
Never.
Never. I've never been submitted.
Those are all artificially, intelligently created. That's what they are.
Well, look, if Hickson's allowed to say that he's never lost a fight, can I say crazy shit too?
He never lost to his daddy neither. He never took no ass whooping from his daddy.
It's just a strange thing to say because, like, how are you ever going to prove that? And, like, like there's this heat that now Keenan has apparently. Have you heard about the heat?
Yes, because he's told them that they have the skills of a purple belt.
And then who was it? Drysdale came out and said something like, "Yo, like this is more like if Hickson couldn't beat these, or if Hickson could beat these guys, it would mean that jiu-jitsu hadn't improved in any way."
Yeah.
Which isn't really accurate. It makes me want to like. It makes me want to know if Drysdale's ever trained with Hickson or anyone that's good under Hickson. Because that's so the jiu-jitsu that I learned,
Right.
right? Which is a derivative of the jiu-jitsu that Hickson learned too. Like I learned Gracie jiu-jitsu as taught by Royler Gracie.
Right.
And then of course, I learned anything else that someone showed me that looked cool along the way,
Yeah.
right? But like my focus was that style of jiu-jitsu. So much so that when that dude was cornering me at the pans, I'm passing the guard exactly like him. Like I'm doing all the positions that he would use at high level competition. Like I used his moves to win gold medals.
Yeah.
Right? Like real talk. So I have respect for that way of learning. I started training with Henry. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to talk to this nigga today. I started training with Henry, and he shows me really basic shit that I knew, right?
Right.
And it's completely different execution, completely different psychology, right? So it's not that like jiu-jitsu hadn't improved, like that style of jiu-jitsu, the style of jiu-jitsu that was like Royler Gracie, Leo Vieira, Salo Ribeiro, that style of jiu-jitsu is what has been evolved from.
Yeah.
No one even learned the Hickson style. You didn't evolve past it. You didn't fucking learn it. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
I literally think it's a completely different martial art, and it's much harder to do and not as fun, but super profound.
I totally will second that, and I will only disagree with you that I think it might be changing slightly, just slight bits.
Maybe. Like
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like
Right. It's not, but it's not like, but not a lot of
like-
people know it though. That's the thing. It's like it.
yeah, not
that-
enough people even know that style of jiu-jitsu.
The
Like,
progress
they
is
just think
slow.
that they think that Hickson was really, really good.
Right. And Crone.
That's
is
what they
really,
think.
Crone is really,
It's a
really
different fucking thing that he does. He does something else. Like, sorry. Like, I know that sounds like, oh, it's like some kayfabe shit because I just want to like exalt this dude. I don't get anything out of that, except for essentially a white belt. Like, I don't get anything out of that. It's my real opinion. Since I started learning that shit when I was a brown belt. So I was like, I've been doing that style of jiu-jitsu for 5 years, 6 years, I don't know, however long. Like, but I've been doing jiu-jitsu 15 years. In fact, Anthony,
good.
let's talk about that idea
Okay.
before we get to weird news.
Okay.
Because fuck all this drama shit.
Okay.
Fuck all this drama shit. This is the year of my 15th anniversary of doing jiu-jitsu. On October 15th, I will be 15 years old.
Oh.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I think we should throw a fucking party or something.
Oh.
I think we should actually do some wild shit.
Oh.
And I'm just gonna ask you publicly: is you down?
Let's look at the calendar. Let's see.
Yeah, let's look.
October
Let's see what
15th.
day of the week October 15th is. Because ideally, we should podcast on that day
Oh.
and do wild shit.
Ah. What do you know? It's
What?
a Tuesday.
What?
It works out. It's a Tuesday. It's a day we have to record. So I guess I have to make another trip back to Vegas as long as it doesn't interfere with any exams I have to take. Then I'm good to go.
Yes,
and
let's do this shit. All right, so we'll have a 15th birthday party. That's super hot. Maybe that should also be on Pornhub. I don't know if there's gonna be titties involved or not.
Oh,
I-
boobies.
I feel like it might require wild shit. It might
Uh-oh.
require outlaw activities.
Uh-oh.
Like, I've
Yeah.
been very well behaved,
Bandanas.
Anthony.
Banditos.
I've been very well behaved, and I'm ready to let my hair down.
Oh.
Jiu-jitsu wise as well. I started writing some shit.
Some evil.
Not even.
Oh.
I started writing the shit that I wish I had learned.
Mm.
Like, that's what I'm writing.
Yes.
Because like everyone tries to figure out like, oh, like what's their niche? Like I'm my niche. And I think that's the same for everybody else. I don't think doesn't make me special, but like it's not like I have a series of moves. what I want to do is I want to give people a psychology for how to initially learn jiu-jitsu that will serve them throughout their journey in jiu-jitsu. I want to give them what I was encouraged to get for myself, what I believe Donald gave me that he believes I gave myself. Is the ability to teach jiu-jitsu to yourself, and not in some like weird way, like to really understand that like these are just fucking concepts. Like the moves, the way they are taught at their best should be taught to teach you how to think about movement and moves. It's not, now I know this one move. When I only know one thing, dummy, why would I teach you one thing? That doesn't empower you in any way. That makes you a fucking slave.
Yes.
And I don't want to do that. I want to make it so that I can teach you 10 moves, and then no one ever has to teach you anything. You could just see shit, look at it, and be like, oh, that works because of this works because of that, and you might have a couple questions.
Yep.
Like, you shouldn't have to be fed moves like you're a baby in a high chair.
Yeah.
And like, but a lot of dudes make their money off of that fucking high chair and keeping you in that high chair.
Yes. It always,
use your fucking legs.
It is.
Like, use your legs that you have them.
It is weird.
Use them.
It is weird.
And I want to give people the knowledge of their legs, not just a series of moves. And so that's what I've been writing. That's what I want to start shooting video on. I talked about it a little bit on Instagram that I want to find drill partners, and I got a couple people slide in the DMs, but frankly they'd be inappropriate for right now because like there's a couple ways to do it, and like I've already thought of how I really want to do it, and the other way is dope too. Here's how I don't want to do it, so maybe I'll just do both.
Okay.
The way I don't want to do it is really truly teaching it to the person that's in the room. And like, and by truly teaching it, I mean they don't know the move or the psychology, right?
Yeah.
So say it's the scissor sweep. I don't want to teach the scissor sweep to you if you don't already know it on the video. I want to teach it to someone who knows it, but hasn't seen a psychology for it, which is basically everyone that's not us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So basically,
like, just ask a motherfucker why.
So you just want them.
Just ask them why. Oh, why do you do that?
Yeah.
I practice it a lot. It's one of my best moves. That's why. Nonsense. That's not why, bitch. That's not why. And like that why will keep you a slave. You'll be as good as your athletic fucking abilities can carry you. Your brain can't help anybody because you don't know anything. You just do things out of habit. And recognition that you don't even know you're recognizing. Tiny little bits of pattern recognition of success and failure. You could even behave brilliantly and be dumb as fuck. Like, if you're just a really excellent slave. But like, how much power do you have? What can you do for somebody else? You can only achieve what you can achieve with that.
Right.
But if you can actually explain it to somebody, you could help thousands, millions of people possibly. Possibly.
You're going to bring down a whole industry.
Wouldn't it be nice though?
It would be nice to get rid of BJJ fanatics. I'm tired of
just
that.
bringing it down the way it's being brought down, like not by being like burn them.
Right.
By being like, here's this for you.
Right.
Now go. And not tell them what it's for. I don't want to sell it by like saying you won't need any jiu-jitsu anymore. Like no, I just know what it's for. I know what it's for.
Right.
I know why I'm doing it. And then I'll just sell it because I think it's cool. And I want to make it feel more like a skate video than a fucking jiu-jitsu instructional. I want it to feel like a 1992 skate video. I want it to feel like a toy machine video. I don't want it to seem like fucking BJJ fanatics. I'm not putting out a John Danaher DVD.
No 2019 Darren.
I'm putting out chocolate. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, man. That hot shit.
Like, that's how I feel.
Amazing.
All right, Anthony, hit me with one piece of weird news, and I'm going to ditch you. I love you.
Oh, fuck. Such a tough thing. All right, how about this? Let's see. Oh, man, it's tough to beat. This one's kind of short, so I won't use that one. I'll just tell you about it. The Jersey woman got her call stolen while she was asleep inside of it.
She was sleeping in her car, and it was stolen.
It's stolen, yeah. She woke up outside the car, and it was gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So, wait, they threw her the fuck out of the car?
Yeah, she was sleeping in the car, and they took her out of the car.
All right, that's equal parts polite and rude.
Yes.
Like, so the only thing worse would be to wake up inside your car being driven by some kind of crazed robber.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
now you don't have control of your car, to try to seize control of the car might kill you, and the person might also kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. How dare you show me that while I'm still having a sentence, you son of a bitch.
It's harder to keep you
But
to
like,
break the rule.
even though you're inconvenienced and woken up from your sleep, at least you're safer not being in a moving vehicle with a psychopath. So it worked out for the best, even though it was for the worst.
Yes.
Now, can the audience see what you just made me see?
I will make them see it as well.
And make sure that we explain this to our audio audience, since there's more of them anyway.
Oh, I guess it won't. I guess it won't let me today.
You really fucked me up right there.
Yeah. It won't let me show it to you guys. So, but basically what it is video shows naked murder suspect chasing police officer. So basically what's going on is there's a tall white man chasing a slightly shorter, stubbier man with a gun. And the officer is spraying this naked man that's chasing him down, that's unarmed, mind you. He's getting chased. He's chasing this naked man. Naked man's chasing him down. He pulls out the pepper spray and hits him. He has an assault rifle in his hand.
All right, so let's make racist jokes, because I think that's where we need to go with this.
Of course.
So if I were a murder suspect, I'm a murder suspect. I am naked. I am running toward a police officer who has a rifle. A rifle that any leftist would describe as an assault rifle. What's the likelihood of me leaving this situation alive, Anthony? Like,
negative.
what chance do I have making it out of there without my dick shot off and like holes throughout my torso and face? Like, I think I get fucked up. I don't think he's gonna pull a Hunter S and be like, Mace, I've got Mace, you fucker. Get back, you pig fucker. Like, I don't think he's gonna give me the Hunter S treatment. I think I'm getting lit the fuck up. Like, riddled with bullets is how my body would end up. But
I agree, especially if you were a triple homicide suspect.
Yes, triple homicide.
Yeah.
Now, just today I said there's no such thing as white privilege. How dare this article disagree?
I can tell you exactly what he did right up before he chased the police officer. He first ran towards the reporter on the scene that was filming it, then attacked the pastor, then was maced and tased by authorities and attacked by a police dog.
Look, he has to be brought to justice.
And he's only 19 years old. What a man.
He was unarmed, and he's just a kid.
This naked boy is just running through. He looks like he runs like a sissy, too.
Look, he is running like a sissy. But I can't imagine what it's like to run with your dick actually out. Have you ever tried to run with your dick out?
I think like in short distances, yeah.
I mean, like, truly run.
Yeah, like it's a dead sprint, yeah, but like in short distances. Like it's not like I'm doing the 100-meter dash, but I've done like
Stop. Tell me one time where you ran naked.
Let's see. Between like hotel rooms, so I was like one hotel room's over there, and I got to get back to my hotel room, so I got to run, and I'm not with clothes. I couldn't find the clothes that I was wearing at the time, so I
first of all,
dipped it.
I just gained even more respect for you. That's a wonderful adventure that I would have never been on.
Yeah.
And people think I'm so wild, Anthony. I'm really not.
I mean,
it's very calculated.
Yeah.
Like, so I would never be in a situation where I was like, where are my clothes? I know where my fucking clothes are.
I gotta go. Get ready for work. I gotta go.
I've never gotten naked and had it not be strategic.
Yeah, it wasn't.
In every conceivable way.
Nah. It's like you got time for work.
I respect that.
Work time.
I respect that. What I'm saying is, you don't have any video footage of what you looked like when you did that.
Definitely didn't run like this, dude.
You don't know that. First of all, you already run in an awkward fashion. Second of all, if you had no way of keeping your dick under control while you were running at a full clip, you don't know how you would make adjustments. Like, you would probably start taking a different gait entirely to try to minimize how much your dick was moving.
Yeah,
and
shorter steps.
Still try to
shorter steps.
Still try to move at a good rate of speed. Like, he's trying to catch that police officer after all. You know? Before he caught that mace.
No long strides. So like, much.
You're trying to get him, but at the same time, you don't want your dick to slap yourself too hard. It's a lot to think about, man. And you got those 3 murders you just did. Like, he's got a lot on his mind.
I don't think that. I think
you calling him assisting for the way he's running is kind of fucking bullshit, Anthony.
I think was.
All right, we've gone too ridiculous, Anthony.
Yes.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate this audience. 197 episodes is nothing to fucking sneeze or wave your dick at while you're sprinting toward a police officer.
I agree.
I love you all. Goodbye, Internet. XOXO.
Bye bye.